evening and welcome to Peralta Matters. I'm your host, Jay Calhoun. Tonight our show is about student services, and what better way to start the show than with an actual student to tell us about most of the services at the Peralta Community Colleges. So I'd like to welcome to the show right now, Jurena Storm. How are you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good, good.
First of all, let's get into who you are and why you are on the show. You are a student trustee, which is a bit, of a big job, I think, within a student's job, within a student's daily service. So let's talk a little bit about what you do as a student trustee and how you got to become a student trustee.
Sure. Okay.
Where do you begin?
Where do I begin?
Right.
It is a big job. And within the state of California, there are two perspectives on what a student trustee does.
Right.
There's one perspective that says that we advocate for the students. There's another perspective that says that we are trustees that just happen to be students. So therefore, we need to look at things from a community perspective. Personally, I take those two perspectives and then my own experience is what I experience as a student and try to, for lack of a better word, mesh them all together to come up with a perspective or a decision about how I handle my duties or how I represent or what I say when I'm asked a question. How I became a student trustee. My journey started in 2008, looking for activities on campus. I like to keep myself busy. It was my first semester within the Peralta Community College District, and I happened to run into student government, and it kind of took off from there. I held local offices for a couple of years, and then was fortunate enough to run and win the election as a write-in at that, not even on the ballot. I was a write-in for the student trustee position. So I've made an impact, apparently, and some people know who I am.
We discussed a little off camera. You are a bit of an implant. You're not originally from the Bay Area.
No.
So being from Oklahoma, now coming to the Bay Area and getting entrenched in the community, so to speak, through your service as a student and through your service in the student government, what has been the biggest impact for you?
The biggest impact for me was working with and seeing people that look like me in positions of power. Okay. Being from Oklahoma, that's not something that you see very often within the broader community. Now, I saw it in my church, my pastor, of course. I saw it in the social clubs that I attended. But going outside of there, into banks, into hospitals, doctors, lawyers, judges, didn't see it.
Gotcha.
So coming to the Bay Area and being surrounded by that gave my self-confidence, my self-worth a huge boost. I think a lot of people that are originally from the Bay Area take it for granted, that this is just how life is. It's like, no. No. Excellent. It's not life.
That is a bit of a misnomer in this community.
It is.
Speaking of student services, we touched a little bit about this off town. You've kind of been able to dip and dabble in a lot of different student services within the College of Alameda. Touch a little bit on the specific ones that you've dealt with and how you actually deal with them.
Personally, the only service that I've been able to take advantage of has been financial aid. And not in a traditional sense, because I am not eligible for financial aid in a traditional sense. I am a loan person, unfortunately.
Right, most of us are.
The only good thing out of that is the laws that took place July 1, so now we have direct loans and stuff like that. We're not dealing with banks anymore. Makes things a little bit easier for us. Let's just hope that it stays in place since everybody wants to repeal the health care that made the loans happen. So it's kind of like that's a little scary to really think about that it could be repealed and we'd lose the option. But from an advocacy standpoint, I have been involved with EOPS, with CalWorks, with the CARE program, and for me, it's been giving students information and direction, helping them with their paperwork, getting them to the right people that can assist them with their specific issues. Although we have all these services that we offer, I'm a firm believer in support and customer service.
Okay.
That we can clear up a lot of issues with a little help, you know, and a smile.
Right
A lot of things can be avoided,
right.
you know. So I try to be that cushion when a student comes and they feel that they've done everything that they've needed to do, and the information is not being transferred correctly or misunderstood either way on either end. I try to play that cushion, you know, to be like, okay, well, let's see what we can do.
Yes.
You know, let's look at your paperwork and be, oh, no, you missed that box.
Right.
Can you fix that for me? And get that taken care of.
I was going to ask, is it, you know, and it's not a blame or fault situation, but as a student, do you see some of the issues, frustrations, problems that could arise in how some of these programs are actually helping the students become just a ignorance, you know, just I didn't know. There was not a process explained to me, or there was not a form given to me, or I had no idea that it was online versus a paper form.
Every day.
Is it that simple?
Every day,
okay.
Every day, and I experience it as well with the new process for student loans. It was very frustrating and took a long time to get my information processed because it was a new process for everyone. It takes a lot of patience when you're dealing with people in general. Right. You know, and then when your bureaucracy always takes patience because there's so many different things that needs to happen. Right. So for me, it's always trying to get the students to look from both sides. I understand that you need to get this taken care of, I really do, but can you understand that they're going through a new process too, or the budget cuts have them limited in staffing, there's only so much that one person can do in a day. You know, just trying to get everybody to see everybody's side of the issue. Right.
Now that you've gone out that mark and you know, surpassed your student, you're on your last semester, you're on your way up to bigger and better.
Yes.
You're student trustee now, so you're not, you know, you're no longer just in student government locally within your campus. You have aspirations to do bigger and better. Was the impetus to that started here, or was that desire nurtured within the Peralta Community Colleges?
Let's see. The desire was developed at home.
Outstanding.
I come from a family of service.
Okay.
Okay, people that give, want to help.
Right
on. So Peralta reignited the spark and gave me the outlet to do the things that I feel like I'm destined to do. So yes, it was definitely nurtured and continues to be every day, such as settings like this.
Right.
You know, I get the opportunity to speak and to give information to others. That's what I do.
Outstanding. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on the show.
And thank you for having me.
We'll have to have you back and talk some more.
Definitely. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. We'll be right back after this.
Peralta TV, programs that matter. Peralta TV.